Hey, what's up? I'm Guy.
I'm John.
It's our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it and give this video a like.
Yep. Check out the podcast also below in the description. Do that now. Subscribe, share with your friends.
Dominant by the end. You know, Celtics Warriors been really good games, 3 quarters, and then things change. Although Warriors started to pull away in the third. Really entertaining game. Steph was very good. Klay was not, but didn't matter. Warriors have even the series in one apiece.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the highlight of the game was the execution on that last play of the third quarter when Jordan Poole hit that. You knew it was official. Like, to me, I felt like the game was officially over then.
Yep.
Early on, though, not going to lie, it felt like, the Warriors overmatched. They looked old. They looked sluggish. The Celtics have all these, long, young bodies. But, final score 107-88. It is a little concerning early on. I saw a lot of people shitting on Draymond, like, he's so close to the edge. He's going crazy. And listen, it felt like was very close to the edge. I do wonder if he realized early on, and he's talked about this. I don't know if you know he has a podcast.
Somebody photoshopped that he did a halftime game 2 live show. They were like reaction already up.
Is that he's talked about this, and I don't think – I don't think he's bullshitting. It's on him to be like the heart and soul of the team, get them going. And early on, it felt like, God, are the Celtics just better? It was almost like he sniffed out that, like, I might need to push some buttons here. And just naturally, when he's doing that, he's going to get close to the edge. But I think it's because it was like a fight or flight mechanism where he realized, holy shit. Because early on, it felt like Jaylen Brown looks like Larry Bird. Tatum's not even hitting shots, but he's their best player. They looked awesome. And I thought that's why he was kind of going crazy. And he got lucky because, in a regular season game, he might have got tossed. He was just doing some shit.
Yeah, I mean, the cut up they had of just all the moments of Draymond talking trash was pretty good. And I think you're probably onto something. That part of it was Draymond just understanding this is a do or die game.
But especially early on, where it's do or die, and they're like down 10, and it felt like, holy shit.
It's the finals, and in theory, you should have the best officials in the finals too. And I thought the double tech possible situation they handled really well. They were kind of backed into a corner because it's like, well, are they going to give a tech to just one guy? And the reality is that we don't need technical fouls that much. There's no reason for technical fouls when a couple guys just kind of push each other and we move on. There's no reason for it.
Totally agree.
So I thought that was
when
well
did
handled.
technicals become a thing? Last decade, do you think?
It's a good question. I don't know.
They are much more prevalent now than when we were kids, for sure.
And I can kind of understand screaming at refs. I mean, I think a lot of times refs should, they have bunny ears and we don't need it. But I guess I can kind of get like, all right, there's a way that we're going to run this game and you can't abuse blah, 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 whatever. But a little push here, a little shove there, it's fine. And I think part of it, maybe he knows how things are a little different. Like, remember when he got suspended for kicking LeBron's nuts, Manscaped promo code HAM.
No, he dropped his nuts on his face.
Dropped his nuts, which he did to Marcus Smart today too.
He kicked Pau Gasol.
I thought LeBron stepped over him and he kicked up at LeBron. That's how he got suspended in the finals, and then went to the A's game.
I thought he dropped.
He stepped over LeBron, and LeBron kicked.
Now I'm confused.
I think LeBron stepped over him, and he kind of pushed up. But my point is, he didn't get suspended for that act. He got suspended because he'd reached the maximum number of technicals, right?
Who's the dude on the Thunder? Serge Ibaka. Didn't he kick him in the nuts? Or no, Steven Adams. He kicked.
There was also the flying, like the rebound or the shot.
Nut kick.
I can't remember which it was, but that was a.
Well, no one ever knows with him. It was just up in the air and kicking.
Yeah.
You're right.
No,
I
but
think
that was
LeBron was getting over teabagging Draymond, and he swiped at his nuts.
Yeah. But my point is, like, even in that situation, he wasn't suspended because the officials thought he needs to be kicked out of the game, or he was only suspended because he had reached the number of technical fouls that then get you suspended. So I'm with you. I thought he was pretty damn good. I thought Wiggins was good. Poole finally found it a little bit. Gary Payton gave him good minutes. It's funny. Bielitsa comes in, and everyone always thinks the same thing, which is like, you got to go at him. And then he's not that terrible defensively.
He's long. Yeah.
It just looks like you got to go at him.
How about my guy and his dad, Walnut Creek guy, Looney? I mean, Looney's just a monster, bro. Plus 24, 12 points, 7 boards. Felt like his impact was quadruple that. He's everywhere. Steals. I fucking love Looney. I love Looney. He honestly is my favorite player on this team. If Klay's not going to be
That's an
great.
insane take.
Favorite player in terms of an appreciation. Like
Yeah.
Steph is one of the greatest players of all time. Klay had some of the greatest moments in the history of the NBA. Draymond has won a Defensive Player of the Year and is now a podcaster. Looney, I feel like doesn't. Andrew Wiggins was the #1 overall pick on a max contract. Looney had bad hips. No one would touch him. Even when he's been on the Warriors, people are like, this guy sucks. This guy's a stiff. And it's like, Kerr just keeps playing him in all these playoffs, and he always comes through for like 7 straight years now. It's incredible. And again, what happened earlier in the last or 2 series ago? They're like, we need to start Looney. Get Poole out of here. They start Looney. Boom. They kick Memphis' ass, and they haven't looked back. You got to give Looney his props.
He's taken to another level. I mean, what do you have?
He's been awesome.
4 points in game 1. He had 12. Like, that's all you need, right? You don't need 20. Just 12 and 7 with 3 steals and a block.
Draymond would die to score 12.
He had 9, actually.
No, he
the open 3 he took was
free throws. Ooh.
But he did hit a 5 of 7. 5 of 7.
He hit a couple.
He pushes the issue so much. When he gets the ball in the open floor, by the way, 20 free throws and 17 free throws. Like, for the most part, it felt like less fouls the better, as far as I'm concerned. But I thought a lot. They let a lot. It was a pretty physical game. They let a lot of stuff go.
Yeah, Draymond was doing some weird shit early. There was a play. I thought about this when he was in midair and then had to go to the layup. I can barely touch net. So that feeling, I'd be fascinated to know what it's like in midair as an NBA player, as a guy that can dunk, when you realize you're not going to be able to dunk. So you got to switch it to the finger roll. And that was the phantom call they gave on Jaylen Brown when he didn't even touch him. And Payton just hit the ground.
Yeah.
And even though, as we've talked about, like, I don't think Gary Payton and his father are really that offended by Dylan Brooks and that whole thing. Like, it's kind of, if you listen to Gary Payton on with Russillo, like, I think that's kind of wired into their family. And I heard Gary Payton II say that he wasn't that mad at him. And it was like, it's like his dad was speaking. It was crazy. But just that play, think how tough you have to be to come back from that. How about the montage they showed early in the game of the injury? It's like, what are we doing? They showed like 3 different angles of his injury. Why are we showing this?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Where they showed it and he hit and he hit again and then he.
I'm glad I missed it because I can't watch that thing.
What are we doing?
Yeah. I thought the Jordan Poole, you mentioned, I want to go back to it. The shot he hit before the end of the third quarter was, you never see guys, you see guys always try to get as far as they can with as much time as they have. But there comes to a point where you get so far down the floor, you get close to the other 3-point line that they defend you. They don't really defend you at midcourt because they don't want to foul you on a shot that whatever the percentages are on it. The closer you get to the 3-point line, the closer they defend you. So he just stopped, like took his time, like squared up, was not in a rush because he had 5 seconds, I think, when he got the ball. I thought it was genius execution, knowing like I'm only going to run into a contested shot. I'm going to stop here. You and I have been to, over the years, so many basketball games, the warm-up before the basketball game. And for me, I think you were there with me. You were. The most memorable warm-up pregame was Vince Carter's that I've seen. Do you remember that?
I think that was something with the Kings or something. I didn't see Vince
No, it
Carter.
it was a Warrior game.
Was he on the Grizzlies?
I don't know. It would have been like 15 or 16.
I saw Ray Allen's. I don't think I saw Vince.
Ray Allen's was Vince. Just warm up, and just works away from the basket. And he finishes taking just square up jumpers from the midcourt logo. Just bam, bam, bam. Like it's nothing.
Set shots.
Like it's nothing. Like it's it wasn't a free throw level no jump, but it wasn't like a game jumper, like really have to elevate and use his legs.
Are you supposed to jump when you shoot jumpers? Because I never institute.
It's in the name.
Did you institute that in your game? Because mine, mine was more of a set shot,
more of a push.
Yeah,
but these guys have. My point is like they've got that shot in the bag, And I thought it was pretty cool that he pulled it out when he did.
Well, there were like 3 guys ready to swarm him, so it was a smart move for him to stop. But when he hit the shot, that was one of the cooler Warrior moments of the playoffs. That was badass. That was sweet. And he has been like him and Klay. I mean, Klay's one of the more accomplished players in like NBA history. Several-time champion. I mean, he's an all-time great. Obviously, Jordan has a lot to prove, but they both do fall into the category of like the J.R. Smith category. Like they just keep shooting. Like it's not, I mean, Jordan Poole, if he wasn't on the Warriors and it was on a bad team, he could be easily one of those players in the NBA that gets made fun of for just chucking.
Yeah.
I mean, if Klay's resume wasn't as long as it is, I mean, the first half, can you play any worse? But it's not even that he's playing. It's like he has, and this is what you have to appreciate about him because he ends up hitting some shots. It's like, Klay, you're not even remotely close, bro. You can't keep shooting. But I don't think it ever crosses his mind. Like, what do you mean I can't keep shooting? Like he's dead, dead serious. Like I was thinking tonight, is he that different from Russell Westbrook? Obviously, he's a way better player. But just in terms of the mentality, like Russell's problem is like, Russell, stop shooting. Klay, it's like there have to be people in the Warriors like, God, we just probably don't want to take that right now, Klay.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the difference is
I'm not saying as players, I'm talking to mentality.
Yeah, I would say the difference, right, is that Klay, to me, Russell's more irrational in the mentality because Klay, when it clicks, it's one of the greatest things that the league has ever seen. Whereas Russ doesn't ever really get it to click like that.
100%. But like he's had nights like this year, just coming back from this injury, where it's not even off. It's not even remotely close.
Well, he's not even tonight. He was missing shots and then taking shots that were just crazy. I mean, he's just forcing shots up, right? Like trying to get something to go. Yeah, he looked bad. I mean, he's never had, I'm looking through his postseason game log, 142 games. He's missed 7 threes in a postseason game before. He's never been 1 of 8, which he was. I think it's the most misses he's had. Well, it's a convoluted stat, but he had an 0 of 7 night, and then he's had like a 2 of 11 before, stuff like that. So he's missed more shots, but he's never had a 1 of 8. He's had some bad ones.
Would you consider 4 of 19 a good night shooting?
No, I would not. And honestly, I don't remember the 4.
Well, he hit a couple threes late. Oh, I guess he just hit the 1 3 where he's fading away. He missed a bunch of layups. I mean,
they were all missed. They don't
dunk much.
You know who plays above the rim on this team? This would be the list, I think. Wiggins, Otto Porter, and I mean, am I missing anybody?
Well, Gary, I would give Gary Payton
GP2?
when he's healthy.
Plays above the rim?
Well, like he'll dunk and put back dunks.
But what I mean is like, yeah. Go up and get a rebound above the rim.
Looney will grab a rebound around rim height.
I mean, it's pretty incredible. Can they win this? Can they win the championship with Klay playing like this?
No chance. They can't. Honestly, when they were down early,
if they had won game 1, you'd say yes. But
no. I mean, the teams have come back from 2-0 when they get.
I understand, but I mean, now you got to go win You got to win in Boston.
You feel like to me, I'm a 50-50 coin flip. They're going to win the championship. I'm not like confident they're going to win. I'm not confident they can't as much as game 1, but I'm not like I wouldn't bet my mortgage on it that much.
I wouldn't either, but I think I feel kind of the way I did after game 1. Like this game looked like game 1 until it became the game that I thought game 1 was not. It's not what I thought game 1 was going to be, but like I've seen them play the first 2.5 quarters today, just like they did the other day. Although you could argue they were a little more. Steph was, I wouldn't say he was better, just more balanced than he was in game 1.
I'd pick him to win. I wouldn't be confident though.
Maybe that's a good way to put it.
Because I don't trust Klay Thompson being his consistency.
I know. I just keep going back to the Miami Heat took this Boston team to 7. That is one of my overarching. I think Boston's good. I think they're deep and all that, but that thought has stuck in my mind a lot. The Miami Heat took this team to 7.
Al Horford had 26 points last game. He had 2 tonight.
Jesus.
He
only took
4 points.
John, he did not attempt a 3-pointer.
He had 2 points. That's to me the biggest number. That Marcus Smart had 2 points. Those guys combined for 4 points.
Good job by Mike Brown.
Well, he's just not quite ready to move to El Dorado Hills yet.
Good job by D'Amico Ryans. Nick Stauskas had 3. Nick Stauskas outscored Al Horford tonight.
Did you have any clue that Nick Stauskas was still in the NBA?
Not until I saw him on the Celtics bench, no.
Makes sense why Vivek was at the game. Doesn't it?
To see Stauskas.
I think he thought he was going to be as Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
I'm ready at least we got a series now. I think game 3 is going to be bananas there.
I can't wait.
It's going to be bananas. They have the best home court. We got a little Tito's golf Wednesday, and then Wednesday night basketball. It's a good Wednesday, guy.
It is a good. Oh God, it's a great Wednesday. It's a good call.
That's a Wednesday now.
Okay, what time we tee off?
Early morning.
10,
Make our own
15
schedule.
a.m.?
We used to work with people that played a lot of golf, and I always like, what do they get to do? And then you realize it's part of work. It's part of sales.
Do you think he was there to see Stauskas? What a line.
Well, remember that was the guy. Remember he was pounding the table in that video?
Yep. The draft
thought-
video that the Kings put out.
Yeah, and then the rumor was like he thought he could be there, Klay Thompson.
Miss.
Big-
Vivek loves going to Warriors games. He
if you
loves
were
going to
him,
Warriors games.
a rich guy, obviously you probably still have a place around here, but your business is in Sac. Do you think you own the NBA team, but your team's terrible, that team's good, you were part of them, but you haven't been part of them in a while? Would you go to these things?
No, I mean,
fun to go to a game, but
I want to say no. Like, it feels weird to me, but at the same time, it's like, well, I got less money. The playoffs are right here. Why wouldn't I go? You know, it feels like maybe I'm over litigating his life, but it does feel a little odd to me. But he goes to a lot of games.
But it's like, hey, if you're the Kings, you could send an advanced scout to go watch this game to just try to pick up on stuff. So in his mind, like, what if you're just thinking, like, I could just pick up on stuff? Because he believes he's Jerry West meets Jerry Buss. Right? He believes he's a hybrid, and he just be around his coaches. His coach is there. That's the one thing I would say.
His coach is there. Yep. And his broadcaster, Mark Jones.
You could argue it's less crazy when you factor in those two things.
I don't think his broadcaster makes it less crazy. But
actually his final two, like Mark Jackson.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's still telling Mark, like, Mark, I wanted you. I don't know how he talks, but
you were doing the Mark Jackson from Vivek to
Mark
Jackson.